How's it going, everyone? The Packers had defeated the Panthers of score of 33-30. 30 points by the Carolina Panthers. I should be a lot happier about this win, but 30 points. Joe Barry needs to go already. Like, this is ridiculous. 30 points by the Carolina Panthers. That is the most points they've scored this entire season. That is an abysmal Carolina offense, and kudos to them. They did play well. They put us on the ropes. And even on that last drive, I was nervous, despite, I think it was like 19 seconds left. I even tweeted that Joe Barry is going to make this dude look like Mahomes versus the Bills. And he almost did. Oh my goodness, did he almost do it. Unbelievable. But the Packers escape for the win, even though there were some questionable calls and decisions by the refs. I don't know how you call that Romeo Doubs catch a catch, honestly, but I'll take it. We're probably going to hear about this a lot. Maybe, I mean, it's not a high-profile game entirely. The Packers are on a playoff push, but it is Panthers, so who knows how much of a outrage this can go, similar to like that Chiefs game. But at the end of the day, the Packers move to 7-8, and the Lions, they just held on to win. I literally just before I started recording this saw Nick Mullins throw a pick, and the Vikings lost, which we needed. We wanted the Lions to win. And also, congratulations to Detroit Lions for being NFC North Division title winners officially with that win. And now, on the next week against the Vikings, where we still take care of our business and beat them to try to jump them. But for the day, the offense, the Packers, I thought you did really well. 30 points. The offense, we had, I believe it was 3 back-to-back drives where we scored it. But the offense was moving along, especially in that first half. That first drive in the second half, unideal, looked a little bad, got a little nervous because we've seen the road before. But the offense did their part for the most part. They put up 30 points. Jordan Love was 17 for 28, 219 yards, 2 touchdowns, and no picks. And there were a couple throws where he was just on the money, especially that tight coverage where he had 2 defenders on Tucker Kraft, and he just fit it right there. That was an impressive throw. And overall, the team did well. Aaron Jones, 21 carries, 127 yards, no touchdowns for 6 yards per carry. Aaron Jones pretty much drove us the entire first drive. But then the next few drives, next like 3 or 4 drives, it seemed like Aaron Jones wasn't getting the ball. Still don't understand why Matt LaFleur does that. But to tack on to that, A.J. Dillon had 7 carries for 12 yards, 1 touchdown for 1.7 yards per carry. Didn't do very good on the ground, honestly, but they gave the ball to him on the 1-yard line, and he was able to punch it in. So glad to see that. We didn't get too cute in the beginning of the game, so very, very good to see. On the receiving end, Romeo Doubs led the whole receiving group with 4 catches, 79 yards, and 1 touchdown. Tucker Kraft added another 4 catches, 60 yards. And Bo Melton had a pretty good game, 4 catches for 44 yards. Dontavian Wicks had 2 catches for 29 yards and a touchdown. Unfortunately, on his touchdown catch, he was out with what they called a calf injury. We'll see how severe it is, but he's been playing through a lot of injuries. It's shocking, honestly, he was able to play the last 2 weeks, considering he had what was called a high ankle sprain. So, dude is definitely a dog and played through a lot of injury and pain, and unfortunately, during that catch, he aggravated something or hurt himself a little more. So, we'll see come Tuesday, Wednesday, where he's at. Now, coming back to the defensive side of the ball, Joe Barry, his first drive I actually thought was good. Like, they played tight coverage. They kind of, blitzed them a bit. They sent some good rushes and pressured Bryce Young and pretty much shut down the run. Good. Was glad to see. Then afterwards, Joe Barry came out. I don't know if Matt LaFleur scripted the first drive and then Joe Barry takes over, because after that first drive, Joe Barry, outside of maybe a couple good plays, and really Bryce Young missed. Like, he saved us. Because, yes, we caused a 3-and-out. We stopped a couple drives. But Bryce Young kind of just missed some throws. But once he settled down, he started torching this defense. And it wasn't the run game. It was Bryce Young torching us. DJ Chark torching us. So Bryce Young ended the day 23 for 35. 312 yards and 2 touchdowns and no picks. This is a turnover-prone rookie quarterback, and we couldn't really stop him after the first couple of drives. And really, we didn't stop him. He stopped himself. On the ground, Chuba Hubbard, 16 carries, 43 yards, 2.7 yards per carry, and 1 touchdown. And then Smith Marset, 2 carries. It's really the receiver, I believe. 33 yards and 1 touchdown. That touchdown was on an end around where Rashawn Gary didn't set the edge and he was able to just loop over and get a touchdown. So that part was really on Rashawn Gary not setting the edge. Then receiving wise, DJ Chark, 6 receptions, 98 yards, 2 touchdowns. Especially towards the tail end, was destroying us. Adam Thielen, 6 catches, 94 yards, had a great one-handed catch on Jair Alexander. Jair Alexander didn't seem like he had the greatest game still, and neither did Eric Stokes. So our receiving was still pretty suspect, and I don't know what's causing it at this point. Like, I still saw off coverage, especially by Eric Stokes. And there are just some things based off the alignment I just didn't understand. And then lastly for the day, for the teams, comparatively, we had 369 total yards, while the Panthers outproduced us offensively. And our offense looked like they were doing really good for most of the game. And yet the Carolina Panthers had 394 total yards, 298 passing. They were able to obtain 28 first downs compared to our 25 and converted 6 out of 13 third downs while converting 1 of 2 fourth downs. They only allowed 2 sacks, and that's just crazy considering that offensive line unit hasn't really played good. Like, they've allowed a lot of sacks to Bryce Young. Even though he's a mobile quarterback, he didn't really beat us with his legs. Yeah, he kind of went outside on the pocket a few times, but really, that one's on us. There's a lot of 4-man rushes. And we should have been blitzing Bryce Young more, because coming into this game, Bryce Young was terrible when being pressured. And for some reason, Joe Barry just apparently did not get this memo. You didn't really pressure him on certain situations, especially if it's 2nd and long, 3rd and long. Like, I'm going to send 5-6 people at him to, speed up his brain and try to get some pressure on him, even if he has to get flushed out. That's fine. The guy statistically this year cannot throw, or he doesn't throw very well while getting pressured. So I don't understand that part. I'll never really understand because Joe Barry's defense is abysmal, but he needs to be fired at this rate. Great game by the Packers. Joe Barry still needs to go. This might have been the best of both worlds in a sense of, hey, the Packers won, which I do want, and I want us to make a playoff push, but also showcase that Joe Barry's defense is still not the reason we're getting there. This was because of the offense. Joe Barry almost lost us this game. But let me know what you think down in the comments, what you thought of this game. If you liked the video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and as always, go Pack Go. Oh, also, anyone from Carolina with enough pull watching this video, if you could just make sure Joe Barry doesn't get on the plane, I'd greatly appreciate that. And anyone in the Packers organization, just fire him. Fire him. Just fire him. Carolina will leave him over there, and you guys just fire him. Cool? Please, fire Joe Barry. Needs to be done.